Well, welcome everybody. It's nice to see you all. I think we will start with some introductions because I see some new faces. So just very briefly, who you are and what your business is. And I'll start. I'm Carol Weedle. I run Bacon's Castle and I'm president of the chamber. Eric.
Eric Schmoll, I do SD Digital Marketing Solutions.
John Beam, I'm work for STEAM Technologies, a satellite telecommunications business.
I'm Chris with the Airheads HVAC, do local residential and like commercial HVAC.
Diane Sheldon, owner and winemaker, Hampton Roads Winery.
Pat Burnshausen, Surry County Tourism.
Krista Haycraft, Wild Hill Farm.
Nancy Rodriguez, Interim Director for Virginians for Reconciliation.
Brian Agor with the Town of Surry Town Council.
Justin Pope, Dominion Energy.
Then the Gulf Surry County Workforce Coordinator.
Timothy Doty, I'm in the room fire to do with safety and CPR safety training company.
Willie and Prayer PK. We help businesses maneuver the maze of government contracting.
And that was a good introduction. Lynn is our speaker tonight. She's come out from the Petersburg office or Prater office, district office. I don't know a lot about what she does out there, but I'm sure she's going to help us with some of that. She's going to talk about government contracting and how there could be opportunities for your small business. And I expect this to be very informative. I'm excited to have her and excited to have you all here. And I think we will just get started and we will we'll have our business meeting after our speaker. So,
Okay,
you're
well,
on, Lynn.
thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. I love coming out here in Surry. I live in DeWitt, so I live in the country and the back country ride here is just incredible. I'm gonna drop off. I was sort of worried about not having an audio visual because I don't do really well ad libbing, but I did do a PowerPoint presentation and there's copies of it in the folder. It doesn't have to be too boring. Government contracting can be tough. Nope, you good? Oh,
She just signed.
We have another copy, please.
oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So Prater started out Prater PTAC. It was formed in 1985 by Congress to help with the defense industrial base vendors. Prater PTAC started shortly after that to help with the Fort Lee BRAC movement. So we've been active with Fort Lee for that long, for that many years. I started 2 years ago. I met Joanne Tompkins, the former director, 4 years ago in the private industry because I needed help with federal government contracting. We give webinars, seminars. I went to one of her events, learned a lot, had a one-on-one counseling appointment with her. And when I got up from that counseling appointment, I said, man, she's got such a neat job. I really like that. 3 months later, she lost her procurement specialist. She called me. She said, Lynn, are you interested? And I was like, oh, yeah, I could be. I interviewed, they hired me right on. The first day I walked in, she said, Lynn, I'm 72 years old. I'm ready to retire.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I am. And here I am and love what I do. Absolutely love it. I love getting that phone call from that client saying, Lynn, we got the contract. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I'm going to give you a brief overview of how to find opportunities. I talk and talk and talk. The one word you're going to hear me say the most is network. It's all about the relationship.
Yes.
No matter what you do, whether it's federal, state, or local, you've got to have that relationship with the buyer. You've got to have that relationship with the buyer. And that's a lot of hard work. Researching the agencies, finding the buyer, meeting the buyer, because they're busy. They don't like meeting vendors, but they have to have you. So the first page was just my introduction, how to find opportunities. There's a couple different ways. You got SAM.gov, which is the System Awards Management. To be a federal contractor, you must be registered in SAM.gov. It's hurtful. It's very hurtful. We help businesses get through it. It takes us about an hour to get you through the SAM.gov registration. It can take you up to 2 months to get your codes and your UEI number. You can also register in EVA. if you're just a startup business, that's a good place for you to start with the state and local level. There's a lot of different counties that don't participate in EVA, or you may see them in EVA, but they direct you to their procurement website. Chesterfield is one of them. They have their own procurement website. You register there, you go through them. I know Dinwiddie County, I think there's a listing of them further on down. Invest, again, it's gonna come back to research. You live here in Surry County, you've just moved here to Surry County, research the procurement department. Research and see what they do, see if they have their own procurement portal. All right, I'm gonna turn the page. Federal opportunities, they have something called NAICS code, and I did not write down what that stands for, national, I couldn't even begin to you. Once you get registered in SAM.gov, you don't have to be registered in SAM.gov to look. So if you're interested to see if there's federal procurement opportunities there for you, you can go to SAM.gov and you can look for them. If you are registered, you can log in, save your searches to where you just go in, click the button, see the opportunities, however many times you want them. We have a program called Bid Match. You register in our system, you request our assistance, you fill out your profile, you put your codes in, you put keywords in, and our system goes out and scours the state and local and federal databases and sends you an email every day of those opportunities, so you don't have to search for them.
What's that called?
Bid Match.
Bid match.
And that is something we offer free of charge to our clients.
That on one of these screenshots?
No, you're gonna have to pick up the phone, call me and ask me about that.
You need a D or BIN?
BID.
Yeah.
Bid Match. It's on the second federal opportunities page. See, this audio, you tested me here. Okay, so the next one here I got is the federal opportunities. I just took a screenshot of SAM.gov and I wanted to go over real quick for anybody who was interested to see if this is for you. It's not for everybody. You know, you may not be interested in it. SAM.gov, it's always going to look like that. This is the home page. When you key in SAM.gov, this is the page that comes up. You can go over here and find contract opportunities, and I've written that off to the side, and it's right here. You click on the contract opportunities. You click advanced search, and I'm flipping screens here. And it brings up your search criteria. So you can search for the notice type. And there's different type notices. I'll go over that in just a little bit. Set asides, place of performance, NAICS codes, PSC codes. You can narrow it down by anything. You can narrow it down to, if you're interested in one of the bases, you can narrow it down to that base. I know there's a lot. There's the Norfolk Naval Base. How far are we from Norfolk here?
No.
About
15. Yeah.
So, and then Norfolk and Portsmouth are right there together. So, you know, you've got those bases. At home, we've got Fort Lee and, well, Fort Gregg Adams and Fort Pickett, which is Fort Barefoot now, I think. So you can narrow it down by the areas you want to work in. Notice types, if you're researching, and I'm going to tell you, if you're new to government contracting, this is what you're going to hear: research, research, research. You want to look for things like sources sought or a request for information, because that's your buyers looking for small businesses that are interested in supplying what they need. That's just some of the notice types. There's a bunch of notice types, but you know, if you're interested in government contracting, get with me. My business card or my procurement specialist is in that folder. Get with me and we can go in depth. This is an 1.5-hour class that I give. So, I mean, I'm trying to skim over it and give you the most important things. That's what I've got for federal. We got state and local opportunities. EVA, which is the Electronic Virginia Portal, takes you about 5-10 minutes to register in that. You have to have NIGP codes for that. We can help you determine your NIGP codes. There's the state is a whole lot easier to find buyers. There's a report in there that if you attend one of my contracting 101 classes, I run over that report to the fine tuning of what you need. Gives you buyer name, gives you their email, gives you their phone number, gives you what they paid, how they bought it, and who they bought it from. So the state is really easy to find buyers. And it's a whole lot easier to start out there. I've listed active sites here. You got Ping with Chesterfield County, Dinwiddie has their own purchasing site, Hopewell, Ashland, and I know there's probably about 10 others.
Can I just say that Surrey does post bid opportunities on their county government website? So if you go to the Surrey County VA.gov, click on menu, business, bid opportunities.
Do they also post on Evil?
They do sometimes
Mhm.
for big contracts, construction contracts and things like that. They post on EVA as well. But sometimes just small local RFPs or
Mhm.
IFBs are on the.
Well, I will add that to my links. I will add that to my links. Thank you for letting me know that. Again, it falls back on research. If you're not from here, or if you want to do business in Petersburg, research them, research Petersburg and find out how they buy things. Again, in EVA, you can do that. And then the next page here is some EVA fun facts, like I like to call them. Not everybody thinks like this, but I do. It's fun facts. And the thing I want to point out is it's going to be the second little block down here, and it's called SWAM. Who knows about SWAM?
We just read it here.
You did? All right, good. It's the state certification, and it's for small, women-owned, minority, micro businesses. This is their statistics for 2022. They had 2.6 million or $2.6 billion spent with SWAM certified companies. So when a company comes up and asks me, is it worth it? I immediately say yes, yes. Doesn't take long to do. It's not hard to do, and it's well worth it. Small and micro is 2.4 billion. Micro alone is $417 million. Micro is a very small company. You know, it's very small. And who doesn't need a piece of that $417 million? That's a big pie. That's a big pie. And then the other facts there, and then there's a link here. I can also send these slides out to anybody that's interested, so you can get access to the links. State opportunities, I'm gonna run over EVA real quick. This is their homepage. When you pull it up here. Again, if you're registered in EVA, and you should be, if you're SWAM certified, you should be. Once you register in EVA, they're gonna send you the state opportunities that come to you to your email every day. So you'll be able to bid on those. If you're new, you see something you want to do and you get confused, call us, we'll help you. We can help you format your proposal response and help you understand what you're signing up for. That's a big key. You come up here to this EVA front page. Let's see, we're gonna go one more. We're gonna choose business opportunities, which is that tab right there. And it's gonna bring this one up, state and local opportunities. And again, you have a huge list of, you can search by open, you can search by awarded, closed, bids opened, intent. I'm not going to read all these, but you can read through it. It's like anything. The more you use it, the better you get at it. So set asides. And the one thing I didn't put in here is EVA, anything under $10,000 is set aside for micro. And does not have to be put out for bid on EVA. So do you know how you get those? I've already said that answer 2 or 3 times.
Call you.
Good job. No, you gotta know the buyer. You gotta know the buyer. You know, if you're a party planner and somebody at the Department of Corrections needs a birthday party put together, and it's gonna be $300-400. You're the party planner. I just met you at a buyer event. I'm gonna sit here and think, boy, I got a card. Hold on. Carol, I need a party plan. Can you do it? And what are you gonna say? Sure. Yes, yes. And that's how you formulate that relationship. That's how you find that. Now I say it doesn't always have to be put out for bid. If they don't know anybody, they're gonna put it out for bid. They're gonna put it out for bid. And I have to, I've been working with Chesterfield procurement quite a bit, and they were, I just went to a make the connection event they had on with their buyers. And the one thing I kept hearing over and over was they kept getting, or they have solicitations nobody responds to. And then that backs them up even slower in getting what they need. They can't find anybody, they can't find vendors. And I was like, well, wait, I got a client database. Let me try to help you with that. So I'm going to be reaching out to the procurement departments to see if I can't do that and make that connection between the different procurement departments in our client base. So I thought that was pretty neat. And then I have my question page here with the cute little puppy dog. I know I spit out a lot of information very quickly. Are there any questions?
You look around this room or you listen to, everybody's introductions, how do you see this service? Like, what kind of industries that we have going on here can bid for that?
The government buys everything.
Yeah.
One of the first procurement services I ran across by accident when I was putting together a PowerPoint was skywriting. State of Virginia bought skywriting.
All right.
Bought skywriting. They buy everything. You're looking for the federal government. They have a government-based Amazon called APHIS. And it's for the military people overseas.
Oh, wow.
Books, soaps, anything you can possibly, they don't buy alcohol. Not from us.
Oh, well, great.
They don't, no, they don't buy alcohol. Sorry. I haven't seen any, but they do look for venues to hold events. So still, there's still a possibility there. HVAC.
Yeah.
One of my very first clients, I met him in a chamber, Prince George Chamber, and he said, I need another stream of revenue. Come on, talk to me. It took me a little while. We got him registered in sam.gov, and I told him, I said, look, now, Barry, it's gonna take you some time. It's gonna take a little bit of time, 3 to 5 years before you can break into federal government contracting. He signed up for our bid match, and 2 months later, he emailed me something. He said, can I do this? And I emailed him back. I don't know, can you? You're a plumber. I don't know. Can you do this? And he said, yeah, I can do it. And I said, well, that's the attitude. Do you want to? Yes. We bid on it, and he won it. 3 months after he got a sam.gov registration. That's my win story. That was really cool. And he told me, he said, Lynn, I thought you said it was going to take 3 to 5 years. Well, normally it does, but he started out and it was a $23,000 contract. Nobody wanted to do it. It was replacing replacing the septic pipes in George Washington's birthplace. So that's around here somewhere, isn't it?
Fredericksburg.
Fredericksburg?
Really?
Yeah.
That's like, but it's not the town's way.
Okay, that's what okay.
Yeah.
All right, I did not know that. I was thinking it was here. But he did it and he won it, got paid. He's got his past performance now. So, but yes, the government buys everything. And we'll help you do the research so you make sure that it's something that you want to do and it looks like something you want to delve into.
And then Surry County is also in a hub zone.
Yes.
What is
Hub
that?
zone. Historically underutilized business zone.
Oh.
And there are set asides for that. That's like a,
So when you bid, when you submit your bid, it's submitted at 10% under. But when you win it, you get the full bid price that you.
Oh,
put in.
yeah.
To give an advantage to.
to
businesses.
give an advantage to businesses here in Surry County. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you. I didn't even think about bringing that up. That's a federal certification.
And it's not just products, it's services as well.
Yes.
And
Yes, product services.
In a past life, I used to give EVA classes.
Did you?
So one of the things that I would caution, I mean, spend a lot of time finding out what your codes are. And don't sign up for a ton of them because your mailbox will be overwhelmed with that. That's something that people mess up. That would be number one. Number two, it's a great way to learn pricing. What are your competitors charging? So, I mean, really, especially cleaning companies, things like that. Also, through either you can find out alcohol, Diane, wine, and I'm telling you, look up VCU. They buy a lot. Or, you know, does that, and she's absolutely right, we bought dog biscuits. I mean, think about canine divisions, you know, everybody, police departments. So literally, you would be surprised at what people buy.
There's a report in there that I love to run, and when you walk in the door and sit down with me, we do our initial consultation, and we look at the NIGP codes, and I go and run this EVA 702 report, who's buying what I sell. And I absolutely love it, because it lists, it gives you everything, it gives you everything, it gives you a vendor, your competition to look at. You can even go back into EVA and look at your competition, look and see what they've won for possible marketing contacts. You know, it's an incredible tool. I love EVA. We usually refer to Randy Brown on that with the SBSD, but we like running EVA reports. We like talking to people about EVA, and we like, you know, it's just so friendly and easy to use versus the federal system. It's nice to have a good break, but I'm gonna look up VCU and the wine.
They use their discretionary funds
Mhm.
in order to buy that. And sometimes you have to look at VCU alumni,
Mhm.
VCU, what is it? Athletic
Mhm.
Association. Yeah, but we
Yeah.
buy alcohol.
Yeah, we.
I was gonna say, because every state tourism conference that I go to, the conference speakers at the end of their session get a bottle of wine. So
Yeah,
somebody's buying it and paying for it.
and you must. And wineries cannot give you any free bottles of
Yeah,
wine,
right,
as much
right.
as Diane would like to.
To buy it. I see like that a little bit, but you know, I've looked for it in the federal side, and I've never seen it there. And they must acquire it somewhere. But I know when you go to their conferences, there's no alcohol there. And I just left the DLA one last month, and there was no alcohol there whatsoever. But,
Also look at the executive mansion.
ooh, yeah, well, that's a good idea. Thank you so much. I'm learning. I'm learning stuff.
Working.
You know, no, you're right. And when you get to the point where you don't learn anymore, you don't learn anymore, you're sort of stagnating, and that's fine. So, you know, I'm always open. I love this interaction. This is great. But I'm gonna go back and look at that. I'm gonna go back and look at that. But when you come in for an initial consultation and you want to register an EVA, we run that 702 report, and we run it because not everything's coded correctly sometimes. So sometimes you got to think outside the box for what you're selling and things like that. And we've gotten really good at that. Okay, any more?
Is this a service you provide for free? Is this a government? Is it like, how does that work?
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. We are funded in part by the Department of Defense.
Okay.
And we are hosted by the Crater Planning District Commission in Petersburg, which means they provide matching funds. The DoD pays, you know, anywhere from 65 to 80% of our expenses, and then the CPDC comes forward with matching funds. All of our services are free.
Okay.
We don't charge for them. They're already paid for by your tax dollars.
Mhm.
We recently transferred, we were under the DLA for many years. And in October of last year, we transferred over to the Office of the Small Business Programs. So we have new bosses, we have new metrics, we have new reporting metrics, where we were restricted from working with workforce people. That door's been open to us. They say, do anything you can to get the small businesses ready for the Defense Industrial Base. So this new realm is pretty neat. We're really enjoying it. And before, we weren't really, it was frowned upon for us to come to chamber meetings. They didn't want us to do that. That door's open now, so I'm here.
Well, you're a delight, so.
I was worried. I was really worried. Not having visuals and not being able to point things, but that's okay. That's okay.
We're harmless.
Yeah, adapt and overcome.
At least most of us.
I resemble that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about myself.
Are there any other questions?
And they do sessions in Surry. I think y'all done two since. It's just that every time they do them, they don't get people to.
So there's set times that you advertise they have, or it's when somebody tries to set something up with you?
I don't really have any set times. I've got an upcoming events page here. And I try to reach out and see if there's something going on you want me to participate in. I've been to, yeah, the Parks and Rec building. Yeah, twice. And we really didn't have a turnout, but, my former program manager really didn't get out to Surrey too often, and then COVID hit, so she didn't get out at all. So, and then her contacts, you have somebody in place for 16 years. Those contacts were just as old as her and retiring. So, I've had to reach out and start making new contacts. I first met Yodi here, Yodi Jabri, and he's the one that got me set up here for our first event. And he's used me in Prince George where he's moved to now. So if you know of an event that you would like me to be at, shoot me an email. Let me know. I'll be glad to come down. Like I said, I love the drive here. It's awesome. So, but yeah, we're trying to get out here more to bring the businesses in, and give you an extra stream of revenue. Let's see, Apex Accelerator, the next one. You do have to register with us. We have to have a written request for assistance on file, and you can do that online. The website is on my business card on the folder. We help with .gov registrations, EVA registrations, DBE certifications, and I didn't really go over any of the certifications, but HubZone certification, 8As, WOSB, EDWOSB, which is women-owned small business and economically disadvantaged women-owned small business, veteran and service disabled veteran certifications, contract history, solicitation review, proposal assistance. If you win the contract and you do the work and now you need to get paid, you can't figure out how to get into the system, call us. We can help you get registered in the invoicing system, because none of those systems work together the same.
Right.
I also gave you a list of business partner resources here. I've got Randy Brown with the SVSD. If you're a startup business and you haven't registered with him, I highly recommend it. They give some awesome training classes also. And I'm not sure Bandy Jones, I put him on here. He's a rep for here, the Small Business Development Center out of Longwood. Bandy Jones, his information is here also. Email him, talk to him. Their services are also free. Great business resources. The SBA, SBA.gov. I put their contact information here. And then I don't have a whole lot on SCORE, but they're a good resource also. And then up in the top corner, I put over here a lot of resources that people don't think about. It's your local economic development office, chambers, social media, other small businesses, workforce developments, libraries, and incubators. I don't know whether you have any incubators here in Surrey.
No.
But look those up. Social media is an important part of contracting, whether you like it or not. Upcoming events. We do most of our events hybrid. So even if I'm in BizWorks or if I'm here in Surrey, if I'm in Petersburg, I'll do a Zoom meeting. So you can join us Zoom online, see the slides, interact, ask questions. We treat you just like you're there in the office. I've got one interesting one coming up on the 27th, and that's Teaming for Success in Federal Contracting. And that's a lawyer that's going to come in and talk about joint ventures and teaming agreements between small businesses. And then I'm doing a contracting one-on-one federal government tomorrow afternoon at BizWorks. And then we've got how to find opportunities, and that's the hour-and-a-half class that I give and go in depth and where you can go to find that opportunities. If you're not, go
So
ahead.
you're saying any of these, people could either come to them or they can do it online?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All except the how to find opportunities. That one is in person.
Oh,
Yeah. If you're not, I don't know whether everybody here is from Surrey, but we cut our break point here is Surrey. If you're outside of our coverage area, there's a Virginia PPAC. And I really don't mind if you register with both of us. They're huge. They cover from DC all the way down to Richmond. And all the way, they cover the Tidewater Hampton Roads area. So they have a lot of great events and opportunities, and we don't mind sharing clients when it comes to networking and things like that. So you're more than welcome to register there. Just put in the, how you were referred, put in their Crater PTAC. We're on social media. We're on both LinkedIn and Facebook. I think we're on Twitter too, but I don't ever go there. Or, yeah, something like that. But we post all our events on these, and we also share other events that we can't necessarily share. You know, there's so many events going on that I can't possibly put them all on our calendar, so I will share events here. So if you follow us there. And then here's our contact information. You know, it's just me and Margaret in the office. If you can't get us on the phone, leave a voicemail. We'll get back to you as quick as we can, or drop us an email. And then that's all I have. Am I in the time frame?
You're good.
Great.
Okay.
Anybody have anything else that you just thought of, or how this could relate to you or somebody you know that might be looking for some help?
Please feel free to share your information.
Yeah.
You know, share our information with other businesses. I'd love to be able to come out here to Surry, you know, once a quarter.
Well, we certainly thank you a whole lot for coming. And we will tell you, I know you have a long drive. You are welcome to stay for our business meeting, or you're welcome to leave, so.
I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
Y'all got my contact information? I see, it's still daylight. I can
Yeah.
still. Y'all got my contact information. Please don't be shy. Reach out.
Okay. Oh, did she help you with something already?
This is about as country as you can get, but Lynn and I, when I lived in Dillon County, Lynn and I used to swap chickens.
We're chicken lovers here, so. we're good.
So you bonded over poultry.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah, my wife, had a chicken swap at a track plant in.
It's so country.
And you live in Surrey here now?
I live right down the street in King County now,
Oh, okay. Cool. Welcome. And how long have you been here?
since 2019.
Oh, okay.
Moved to be closer to work. My full-time job was a school teacher in Suffolk.
Oh, okay. Still a little ways, huh? Okay. We have just a few things that we're gonna go over. I kind of didn't think we'd have this much time, but, the resource directory has sort of been, I think it needs some like workshop time with more people who will come together and start writing and make phone calls and, get it moving forward.
Yes, so if you want an update,
Okay.
Eric and I have been talking about it. We had a meeting about it.
Mhm.
Also, I did talk to Anna and she's willing to schedule some time to do some phone calling. But we need to get together and put together some kind of email that we can send to any of these businesses that we have their email address. Ones that we don't, we'll just do a phone tree, but we need to get on board with all of our facts that we're calling them with. Because it's a great opportunity to not only tell them about, hey, become a member, we're doing the directory, but also we have an event coming up that we would like you to participate in as far as the Celebrate Surrey situation. What else? Am I missing? What am I forgetting?
Yeah, one of the big things that we're kind of missing, we need pictures. Something that highlights the chamber and the county. I know we had reached out to Pat, but a lot of her pictures were copyrighted, so we can't really grab those. So if anybody has pictures and things like that, that'd be great. A lot of the business information that we have is also incomplete. So we don't have hours for those businesses. Sometimes, some of the businesses, the only thing that we have is emails. And this is your opportunity really to get out there, put yourself out there, tell people who you are, what you're doing and things like that. Don't miss out on that opportunity because ultimately, and this is just me saying this, I don't think we're doing you justice by putting in just your business name in an email.
I've only gotten 6 responses to my, my survey or contact information, thing that I sent out, my business information form that I sent out to everybody who is a member. I've got 6 responses back. So that's the opportunity to say, here's my name, my business name, my email address, here's the history of my business, here's pictures of my business, here's the hours of operation. Like, that's the opportunity, and I've only gotten 6 responses. So I'll send it again. I got yours.
I struggled with the
Picture
Google
thing.
app thing, yeah.
Right, right. I don't know if there's another way that's easier than Google Forms that can make it easy for me too, because what Google Forms does is it compiles all that information into like an Excel spreadsheet
Right.
or whatever. And just makes it pretty easy. I think I messed with the settings enough that pictures should be fine.
Maybe I should change browsers or something.
Maybe that's a possibility, actually.
I use Firefox a lot.
Yeah. Mhm. So we will do that again, but I'm working definitely with Eric, and Anna said she'd be willing to do some phone calls with me. We just have to set a time, but I want a script. I want us all to be on the same page and have the same answers to all the questions that anybody might have. You know, just to decide how much is it, you know, oh, I don't really want to, what's the value in being a member right now? I don't really want to be, but I do want to be listed on the form. You know, what does that cost? What if somebody wants to put a business card size ad in there? We don't have the space for that yet, or the opportunity right now, but you know, where is it going to go specifically? We don't even really have that nailed down yet. I just keep saying it's going to be everywhere. Because it will be.
So can we make a first run and just do our best, and that will attract attention for the second run?
Like just the members.
Well, it should be a little better than that, but yeah, if that was all it was, then at least that would be something. And
Yeah.
you know, to get it out there, I don't know what the initial like buy-in level is, or
Well, what we were trying to do was come up with at least a mock-up, something that we could email to people and say, your business here, you know, here's what it looks like. So at least with just the members. And so I will send out again a Google form to the members, and if every member can fill it out, then we can plug that information into the directory. And then we'll have that and we can submit that. So I can do that.
So what's the next step? I mean, do you need more people? You said Anna will make phone calls.
Well, I'll make phone calls, and so I don't mind doing that. And I think the next step is just agreeing on what it is we're asking for and letting them know. Hi, we're doing the directory. Would you like to be a part of it? Also, there's this event that's coming up. Would you like to be involved in that? You know, we'd like your local business. We'd love for you to be part of the Celebrate Surry event that's coming up at the end of the month. And I guess that's basically it. So I can do a mock-up of like what we're trying to get across. And what did we decide? It's $25 if you just want your business listed. And it's free if you're a member.
Did we decide?
I think so. I'll have to look back to minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we're halfway through the year. Do we offer discounted membership if they want to join now to be in the directory?
Well, how often are we gonna do it, I guess? I mean.
Right, once a year, I mean,
Is it easy to update? Will it be easy to
I
update?
think so. I think once there's a format, once there's a format or a template, just
And
plug
it'll
something
start
in.
out being like maybe just one sheet trifold or something?
No, we're going against the trifold, but you know, like a little booklet this size.
There's however many pages that we.
Yeah, with a cover page. Well, we talked about what it'll look like, a cover page, an inside page that'll have resources, phone numbers, you know, local emergency services or whatever. We don't have that, but like police department or government numbers, whatever, you know, are the local things, you know, whatever you see in like, what we have going on. We can have a table of contents or just start with the industries that we do have. And then from there, go on. Oh, we talked about coupons too. If we can get anybody and everybody to just agree to put a coupon of some sort, whatever that looks like, that expires on X date, it'll encourage people to pick it up. You know, like if we can get Anna's, you know, to have a coupon in there, or the winery, like a 2-for-1 tasting, or, you know, 10% off or whatever it is, people will be more likely to pick it up and engage with it.
is there a separate online directory?
There is a directory on the website that we're putting members on. which is probably how that guy found you, was what I was saying.
Is that up and working?
It's up and working-ish.
So-
We are missing, member information on there and there's, so we're working it out.
I think we should put a deadline on the directory,
Okay,
and then it's gonna be what it's gonna be. That's what I think.
so good at this.
And then the next one will be better.
Sometimes that's what you have to do.
It's exactly, yeah, I mean, if I have perfection paralysis myself when it
And
comes
if
to.
you say that to people when you approach them, then they know they can't think about, well, I'm gonna think about this. You say.
Yeah.
You'd have to
Alright.
let us know by,
By what? July 15th?
I mean, do you have a printer? Because I would say, you just, when you approach people, you say, we go to print on this date. We need to have your information by this date, which is prior to
This is
the print date.
yeah.
And then you send it off to the printer and you go with it.
Yep.
What if you
It
planned
gets-
one phone call meeting, had 3 or 4 people, did what you could in 30 minutes, and then it just was what it was.
Right.
And then we need people to volunteer themselves into it as well. We need not to be a phone solicitation.
Mhm.
So if we get it out there and it's cool,
they had the chance to respond,
yeah.
it's on them.
I think when people see it,
Yeah,
they're gonna go, hey, how do I get in there?
Right.
Next year, and then more people will be coming to you as opposed to the chamber calling everybody and knocking over every stone to reach people.
Can I
Um,
ask one question? What's the distribution plan? Because when you said you weren't doing the trifold, I was thinking, Diane, you've got those brochure holes. Can you take something that size or Pat?
I
or-
can't.
You can't. I know that Farmer Joe's has one, so that's the only thing I would ask that you
Mhm.
consider. Ultimately, how are you going to distribute it? You have one of those things too at Bacon's Castle. I'm not sure how we're gonna,
I
or
understand.
y'all.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And I mean, those are usually made for things like full color rack cards and things like that. And we aren't looking in that kind of direction, I don't think, as of yet. And hopefully, I mean, maybe the first one could be trifold, but hopefully we'll have more businesses than it'll just fit on like a one-page trifold.
Right, but how would you distribute that?
I guess countertop, that kind of thing. So,
So you were thinking.
Oh, and it's also realtors. Realtors are gonna be having that as
We were
well.
thinking of focusing on new people to the county.
Yeah, so
But that's not good enough to be the whole thing.
right.
So it's gotta be hopefully available at the town hall and the government center
Right,
somewhere.
and that's what I was just thinking,
Right.
If that's your end goal is, I think you're gonna find more places in Surrey
That
is
it
that it fits by putting that trifold
And.
out. I mean, I'm not married to it, but.
Well, I hear you. I understand that. Also, we might be able to come out with our own display countertop, they have plastic things that you can ask someone like, can we display this here or have this here? Yeah, I don't know. The trifold, I do just see it usually just being this full color thing and hopefully we'll have more businesses then that would just fit in a trifold.
Cause if we go to the trifold and all 300 businesses that are registered with business license decide they wanna get in it, you can't get them in that trifold.
Right, right, but you can also make it like the General Assembly directory, which is, a trifold, but
It's
it's
a
a
3x8.
There's a
book. Yeah,
Stop by the visitor center.
Right.
Chincoteague has a travel guide that is like that. It's like in booklet form, but then it folds in half and becomes the size of a regular rack card or brochure.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's what you.
I'm like, how do they do that?
But
Come
again,
by, come drop by one day.
Yeah.
If my car is there, I'm there
Okay.
and I'll show you.
So I think
It's doable, but
the online directory would be more important, and then you could do what you're talking about as a separate piece and promote the website. Maybe.
what I have been doing, in terms of tourism, like, we put on we built this app widget thing that's on the tourism website. That we're calling digital concierge. So rather than print more brochures, we're putting that little tent card in places and saying, hey, just, copy this code and go directly to the app, download the app, and you have everything digital, because so many people are going more digital.
Absolutely.
And
It's not hard
less.
to do one of those scan code things.
QR codes, I could do one in Stripe, it won't be very hard at all.
Yeah, it's really easy peasy. And then you just create something like that, like a tent that sits on merchants.
Yeah.
Counters and people go in and they scan it,
Yeah.
you could, because I would say in terms of of county government, you want to be in the commissioner's office. That's where people go in to get their business licenses. Commissioner's office, treasurer's office.
Yeah.
Planning, that's where, and economic development, that's where you want to be in terms of county government. But yeah, all three of the town offices.
It's actually a great idea. And we could even do little business cards with the QR code and stuff on it. Instead of having to print out all that stuff. It'd be a lot simpler and it'd be very easy to put together. We could use pretty much what we have now.
Are there any, though, is there some segment of the Surrey population that wants something in print in their hand?
Yeah.
That doesn't have a computer?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but then that if you're doing more, look, there's a lot of people that have gone from paper to digital, and I'm one. I would rather have it on my phone. And so I think it lowers the number of print copies.
Yeah, exactly.
By doing the digital.
To have both?
I think both.
Literally, all you need is either a business card or some kind of little tent thing that people would take, or they would have the opportunity to scan the code and go directly to the directory on the website.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's great. That's a great insight. Thank you. Okay. So what we've decided is we just need to get all of our businesses that are members online on the website first. Let's do that. From there, we can just plug all of that information into a very simple print. I'm still gonna go for this size just because, it'll be easier to start with and just get the information out there. And we have, Diane has squares that we could use if anybody's going to do membership and or take payment for the directory. Yeah. Which that's gonna.
So if you do it digitally, you're gonna separate, is that gonna be the directory of members and then a directory of members and non-members?
Good question, because some people are not gonna be members, but they want to be in the directory.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can pay a fee just to be in the directory, but if they're not members, members are free.
Right, but I'm saying on our website, if you're doing it digitally, you're gonna have our members and then you're gonna have a directory.
Maybe we already talked about non-members.
Maybe members get a full blurb and
Yes.
non-members just get a
Listed.
listed.
Yeah.
You know,
The name.
Yeah. a listing.
name of the business, type of business.
Website.
And website, phone number, email contact.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
I'll also make another suggestion. I would list our members first. So that the way they're at the top of the
Absolutely.
page that you're looking at.
Right.
So, and that, because, the non-members, yeah, you can be listed on here and things like that, and you'll get the blurb and whatever. But, I do feel like, if you're a member, you are paying more and you're doing more for the county that way. You should always be listed at the top of however we decide to organize it.
There's that or there's also a member directory, boom, that's one page. And then you can just have a link to the PDF form of the business directory, the printable thing. And then that's where you find all of those other folks. So that's also an option where they could be, they're not going to print it out, but they could if they wanted. But, just a link to the PDF format of the printed thing.
What we really want is more members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if I missed it, how, if you said it already, sorry, how many members do we have listed now?
It's about 20.
Not nearly enough.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Are you a member?
No.
Yeah, no. I joined us.
They have that in the past.
But yeah, but yeah, it needs to be, I'm sure, made active again.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I have an application I'll get to you before. it's
Say,
This man wants to also.
Okay. See me, I'm the treasurer.
Well, and I will get your, I will send you, well, I'm gonna send everybody an email, but I'll send you a link to our Google Forms so you can give us any kind of information that you'd like us to display.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing we've been talking about is that people don't get like an automatic renewal. So sometimes somebody doesn't realize they don't renew, they just kind of fall off the books. So we're working on getting that on the website, right?
And sometimes people change jobs and we lose that contact and then we don't.
Like,
have another-
we didn't know who our contact was at Dominion until Nancy stepped in.
And I will say the other chambers, because there's some other counties that work within as far as one work responsibility goes. So I'm active with those chambers and it is definitely a yearly, hey,
Mhm.
do you want to consider the same level? Do you want up, down? And so it's a constant, cycle that it doesn't just automatically renew. Yeah,
Mhm. Didn't get a reminder.
that's correct. And then of course you can always change point of contacts and things like that if needed. That's a good thing.
Okay, it sounds like we got some steps to get moving on this more. Do you need more help or?
I think we have a little group chat going, so we'll just like reactivate the group chat and try and get something going, and I will get with Diane regarding we need to fix PayPal situation too.
Yeah.
We need to get together about a few things on that end too. So, yes.
So we kind of went off the tracks a little. Are we printing anything? Are we going to print anything or?
We are going to prioritize getting the online situation, the online business thing. And yes, we need to decide, are we gonna have a deadline for print? I think we should print something, even if it's just the current
Yeah.
numbers.
I do too.
Yeah, so we will work on that.
Yeah, because that shows we've got something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, who knows we've got it.
Yes.
So I can say even with the grants, even though we had them online, I had people to contact me and wanted the hard print copy of the grants.
Yeah,
Some people didn't want to pull them online.
people like their paper.
Yeah, there are some people that paper.
I know. I still print too many things from online. So today is June 14. So are you okay with July 15th as a deadline? It's 1 month.
July 31st.
Mhm.
30.
And that gives us a month to get them printed.
Yeah.
We'll have them a month before the Celebrate Surry if we're lucky.
Yeah.
If we're.
It also gives us another business meeting if we need to,
Yeah.
meeting about cost.
Yeah,
So, because there will be some kind of cost associated with print.
Right.
So,
so we'll finalize on the next meeting, the July meeting.
right, so I think that we should have a finished product by July 15th. With the expectation to have it printed and delivered and ready to distribute July 31st.
So that is the deadline to businesses, July 15th.
Yes. To have everything into us needs to be, at least 5 to 12.
Then,
Okay. That sounds good. The website, I have no idea how much work you're putting into this. I have a feeling it's sort of a lot and it's hard for us to say, we need you to do this and this and this when you have a business to run and a family and we are a totally volunteer organization. So I think we should talk about, I think in the past, we paid somebody to handle the website. Is that true, Diane? Did we pay, or we paid Greg something for some things that he did, or?
It was mostly the website, whatever you call it,
The domain.
the domain
Yeah.
and that thing, and he would change things, but not on a regular basis, not unless we forced him to.
So if we're doing a website, we have to keep it up to date. And so it's really hard for all of us to do all this work as volunteers because we all have other jobs. So, should we consider paying Eric either a retainer that he does a certain amount of work every month, or that we pay him by the hour? Or is this something we're willing to consider? Close your ears, Eric.
No. Well, currently, we're still using our old website, the GoDaddy. We just paid for another year on that. And so, I'm not sure what work has been done on it since I've looked at it, because I know
The
we,
last thing we did was update Pat's
yeah,
information.
so,
But we're talking about a lot of stuff. If if we're gonna be adding all these businesses and all their information and their pictures and all this stuff, so,
Well, let's do this.
okay.
I can move everything over to my servers and I won't put a phone on there. And that's really what ends up costing money and stuff, is the phone line stuff. We can build forms and stuff like that in there to submit pictures, and all those pictures and stuff can be put in to basically populate underneath members and things like that. So that way, every time we look up a member, we would have all their information right then and there under each person's name. I think it would make it a lot easier for the updates, and it would save us a lot of time and effort as well. But again, it would just be down to an email system. The emails would come in, forms would come in from online and stuff like that. And I think that might be a solution that works out for everybody in this. And then when we have the members and things are going well, we can talk about compensation later. And even if that's something that we don't go towards, I'm fine with just running it that way. Because realistically, I've got enough people on board now that my business is no longer in the red and we're in the green. So that's great. But at the same time, it is something that, I have to take into consideration, because I've heard our budget and we don't have a huge budget currently. We're going into a deficit. So for you guys to say that you guys want to pay me monthly is great, and I'm all for it. But at the same time, I look at it as a realistic expectation where I don't want to sink the chamber either. So.
That's very kind of you.
So, but at the same time, I also want to make things easier on myself and for Trista when we're updating this stuff. So I think if you guys are willing to do that, or if you guys are at least willing to give it a shot, I can move things over. And then whenever the website comes due again, you can just tell them that you just want the domain.
okay. And because he's already given me access to that particular system. And that would, it would give the opportunity for people to go to the website, fill out a form, become a member, just like that. And we could send out invoices. And I think there's an email system, because right now I'm using a free system to do the newsletters and send out any kind of reminders. But if it's all integrated, that would be probably good.
So this is something that can make it easier for both of you.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows his system best. GoDaddy, I'm just like, I don't know, point, click, I'm not sure. Why does the calendar populate here, but not here? I don't. So I wouldn't mind if it was a little easier. Because I love it. I love it when I get like a burst of energy and inspiration, and I, get everything in there and update it, but it does take time. It does take time. Yeah. But it's nice when still on our website is up thanking volunteers for the cleanup. So I don't have anything new to put on there. So.
Well, I think there could be something about this directory, right?
Yeah. I'll make one of those. I'll make something.
And I celebrate Surry, right?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we're just keeping it neutral at the moment.
Check back in at the end of the year.
Yeah, if it, if it gets to be too much and you feel like there are expectations that are just too much for you to meet, let us know.
I don't think so. And I have kids that I can put to work too.
So, all mine grew up and left home. Okay, so our next month's meeting is a business and work meeting. And I didn't know, I guess at that point, actually, I didn't know if we need one 2 weeks from tonight. Do we need one to work on this, the resource directory? You need
I
us
don't know.
together?
I don't think we need everybody together,
Okay.
you and I, and we'll get Rope and Anna in. I know Rose wanted to be involved, but she's just out for the count right now. So she's on a part of our group chat, but we'll keep her roped in and she can participate as much as she's able.
Okay, I also gave you just a beginning letter about Celebrate Surry. I have talked to the county and the town, Surry.
I went on vacation.
And they
By the
say,
way,
they
you're
say,
now the liaison.
Right.
between the two.
me and Jason says, well, how about Brian? He's not here.
So here I am.
So we're thrilled to have you.
Next, we have ideas of things, things that we want to do. And how we can help and get involved.
Good.
So we want to take an active part.
We're thrilled.
So
Okay, so this is my basic outline. I'm thinking we've got to get a letter out very soon to all the businesses, organizations, churches, everybody that hopefully would participate in this, let them know it's coming up. Get them thinking about how they will be involved and because we'll have to put together a map and promotion and we have to know who's going to be part of this. So I'm open to, do you think this is a good idea, not a good idea? Do we need to add things or subtract things?
And 11 to 7 seems like an awful long time.
Yes.
Okay.
If it's just one or two, several people running a booth,
Mhm.
Yeah,
you get burned out for 8 hours.
Okay.
And seems to me that by the evening, people kind of wander away anyway, but.
yeah, I think you either have to make it an evening event or an afternoon event. You can't have going both ways.
Mhm.
So like a
11 to 5.
like
They think like yard sales, they go 8 to 12 and close, so, I mean, not that we go 8 to 12, but you make it intense.
12 to 5.
12 to 5, 12 to 4, really,
If it's not that, then 2 to 7, like that's fine.
Like it's
I'm shaking my head because that'll be the third Saturday in a row that I will have to work.
Mhm.
And I will have already worked 40 hours that week plus. So. Not gonna do it
We
from
were
11
thinking
to
of doing
7.
is having, hot dogs or hamburgers in front.
And we were thinking about I think
Having
part of
food
that was the food aspect.
Yeah.
And like if you've got food trucks there, I know there are some Surrey food vendors. You want to give them the opportunity to have some mealtime.
Right, either lunch or dinner or,
uh,
so I don't know,
And you also we don't want everybody here at once.
right, I don't know, I think, it does feel like a long time,
10 to 2.
I get 10.
I'm gonna throw that out there. 10
Yeah,
to
if you would
2.
have, I would prefer like 11 to 4.
11 to 4.
So you go over an actual mealtime.
So you over a meal time.
He does
I
this.
can't go 3 days without doing my laundry, y'all.
Yeah. Send your assistant. Yeah.
Sorry, Pat.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense to me. And that's a good time of day, because this is for everybody in Surrey, like families, kids coming out. Oh, so I talked to someone, she was gonna be part of a planning committee they were gonna be doing an event on the same day in Wakefield. So they pared theirs down, they're just doing a smaller event. at the Virginia Diner, I think. But she has,
Behind the Virginia Diner, yes, they already invited us.
yeah. Did you tell them?
And there's also a cycling event in Surrey on this day.
Yeah. Oh, is there?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I don't think is a negative.
No.
They start early in the morning, right? Yeah, they usually start really early in the morning.
Well, she has
Who's doing the event?
the cycling.
Yeah.
I'll have to go through a million emails.
Let me know, 'cause I can reach out.
They do it every year and they don't usually notify us.
Is that the 100-miler?
I don't think so.
Because it's a tour of Virginia, there's
And
a
hold
tour
on,
of three
hold
of
on.
them to it.
I'm gonna find it.
Okay.
I know who sent it to me initially, so I can go back and find it.
Well, this woman I talked to, she's done a lot of event planning. She's worked for like major festivals and things like that. She had a lot of really good ideas, but she's also, because her involvement is no longer needed, she's willing to help us out with others. Like,
Oh.
just, come help. And she had some really interesting ideas on how to get businesses, to get people to go to businesses, because you have a festival, you set up, if people have stuff for sale, that's great, people will go and look at that, but if you have, like, if Chris is set up with his HVAC truck, it's like hard to get people to just come over there. She had an idea, you set up a bunch of kids' games. Each business could have some kind of kid game involved with it for the parents and the kids. I mean, adults can play too. I don't know, whatever these games are, weird fishing for something, or I don't know. You could do some kind of scavenger hunt for businesses, like you scavenge for business cards and then you've gone to every single booth and then there's prizes for that kind of thing, or something like that, just to get people.
Yeah, I think we can throw out ideas. I would like us not to have to provide games to people, but.
No,
It's a good idea
Not
if
us.
you
Yeah.
have something
Sure.
at every one of your businesses.
Or
make people
just
come
a
to you.
giveaway.
Usually it's
I'm
candy.
telling you,
Yes.
people in Surrey
They want candy.
free.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't care what it is. If it's free,
Yeah.
they want it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying,
bottle of water, a pen, a magnet.
buy a bowl of candy.
Yeah.
Whatever. So it's Peninsula Bicycle Association.
Okay.
And this year, fortunately, they did contact Parks and Rec, and Parks and Rec sent it to me. And said, we don't know if there's anything else going on that day. So they sent it to me and I was like, they wanted to do it on the 16th. And I was like, oh God, no, please, that's the powwow.
Yeah.
And we'll already have like tons more traffic coming across the ferry and everything. I'm like, please don't do it then. So they selected the 23rd to do their event.
I'm thinking that's.
Um,
So if we have it when they're
so-
coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a negative to have a
Let
bunch
me
of
go
bicycles.
to their
They can tell them
website.
Yeah, I think they'll go to some event.
So it's also, the town series anniversary is this September, so we want to try to coordinate.
Cyclists typically don't spend a lot of money. They
No.
don't buy things because they
Yeah.
can't carry them. They have
They
no.
do, you give them the opportunity,
They
they
do.
spend a lot of money, because you've got the group that is from the Williamsburg area bicyclists. They are here every Tuesday. They spend money. When College Run has ice cream, they spend money. They go down to Surrey Seafood and they have lunch. And there's typically 10 to 12 of them that have lunch there.
They come,
They
they can
spend-
guess what these are.
Yeah, they can't carry anything,
Yeah, but they'll consume.
but they will consume
Yeah.
and they will spend money.
No, I'm gonna get it on my other phone. That phone access, that's my county phone, so it will never work.
All right, so,
Okay, so get more than 4 hours. It's a long
Too
time.
much.
it's hard for the vendors, hard for the people to like. feel
Yeah, like
they
I
wanna
think the Sussex
participate.
one is 5 to 9. It's an evening thing. So I mean. 11 to 3.
Sounds lovely. Yeah. All right, how
11
about
to 3, 11 to
4?
4.
How about 11 to 4?
I like, from our point of view, I like 11 to 4.
Okay.
Because that would give us enough time to get all set up and everything and catch people as they come through.
So my idea is that we have some designated parking places through town. We talked to some of the churches, the government center, you know, various places. You probably have to rent porta potties up there by the government center in the pavilion area. Everything that's kind of in walking distance within the town will have a map that's showing everybody that's participating. They'll set up on their own property. And then, anybody who does not have a place, a storefront in town and wants a space, we use the space around the pavilion. And,
And you've gotten
And
permission for that. You've gotten all.
I asked for it.
Okay,
They said it
yes.
sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
we will be sending letters out to the various property owners. If they can make a concerted effort to please stop or do something with it.
I can't get it done before and you're too tired.
If you know people that have some of these properties in town
I don't know.
or in the county,
Have the visitors.
It gave me,
um,
all the businesses in Surrey that are for sale.
oh, yeah, that would be good to know.
Who did?
I'm just, Nancy just.
Nancy, yeah, because she's trying to push this. So if you know any of the property owners that are around, and I encourage them.
Yeah, and I thought of, you know, even a prize for the best display or something to sort of encourage.
So there's a lot of like, we're gonna need committees, which we formed before. So Howell was gonna be part of dealing with logistics and things like that. I think if we're gonna do this, we need to have more meetings. You know, we can't just do this every time and then like forget about it. So I think we'll just need to talk every week and see what we're doing. And Eric and I and Anna can make this part of our phone calls when we talk about the directory. That's totally fine. I just want to be able to have answers to questions when people have them.
Right.
As far as where they can go, what they're expected to do. Yes, what are the times? So this is good, dialing the times down, so that we know.
Does it seem like,
I did get one in here.
I mean, this is.
I thought it was
it's
hot flash.
because it's an automatic thing, and when the library's starting to close, the heat. This is sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. It's to promote all businesses in the county. Should we charge a nominal fee for people who want to set up around the pavilion
So here is,
if they're not chamber members?
oh.
Is this a chamber benefit? You get-
So who else can we get in to help sponsor this, I guess is a thing. And I'm gonna take Chris's idea for the next like cleanup t-shirt idea. Can we get a printed t-shirt or a printed something and get businesses that want to get their name on the t-shirt or something like that? You know, they can put in $100 and celebrate Surrey, and here's all the businesses that participated in.
Then we sell the t-shirts or what?
I don't know, do you give away?
Let me suggest,
Yes,
because t-shirts,
and this is,
while they're lovely,
yes.
a t-shirt with 14 logos on it is really not all that attractive, but a tote bag that will that will have
You're such a genius.
logos on both sides, that will carry all the free candy and the
Yeah,
gizmos and gadgets that they're picking up for
Yes.
free would be very handy, and you don't have to select a size.
yes, genius. Yes, I love it. So that's great.
I do this.
Yes, you do this. Well, and that was more, the t-shirt idea is more because we give t-shirts out for the cleanup.
Yeah.
And that's a way to get people like more involved and.
And, you know, you may want to at some point do a chamber t-shirt for chamber members to purchase, or maybe down the road, you get one free t-shirt with your chamber membership. If it's a couple of, you know, you can fight, you and Dave can fight over the t-shirt. Or you can take the one free and then purchase the second.
Yeah.
No, I
So
love
I
this
think
tote bag,
t-shirts
and that's really
for
great.
chamber members are definitely something to think about futuristically. But for this event, a tote bag is
So good.
a lot easier.
Yes,
They
yes.
also have that time frame. If you're gonna get everybody signed up by July 15th.
Yeah, I do want to,
Be able to get that to the printer and get everything made up.
Yeah, well, and it's gonna get everybody's size and trust me.
Yeah,
You know,
It's-
I like the
it's
idea.
not.
I love it.
Because that way, I think that I would believe the turnover time to be able to get tote bags printed. And that would be a lot less.
And they're gonna be less expensive per unit.
Pat, excuse me, when you're talking about tote bags, you're talking about the little handle or the little thing you put on your back with all.
like a reusable shopping bag.
I mean, if you did the drawstring backpack, those are real cheap, but then you only have the one side. Because the other side is against your back and nobody's gonna see that. The tote bag, you could imprint on both sides theoretically.
Yeah.
And have a lot more logos.
Yeah,
Which would fund the cost of the bags.
absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, who's gonna pay? How are we gonna pay for the porta potties? How are we gonna pay for like the printing of the map? How are we gonna pay? We need to do.
Sponsorships.
Yeah, so we need people who want to be involved. I mean, it can't just be the chamber in the town, you know, who else is
I'm
gonna?
sure that the town would pick up. Or.
Yeah, yeah, so.
So yeah, sponsorship and you could do like different levels of sponsorships. The lowest, you just get your logo on the tote bag. A higher level would be, you know, you get your name on the tote bag and you get something else. And
Okay, I am gonna say,
premier spot under the pavilion or something, you know.
yeah.
we usually try to keep our meetings to an hour, and I realize some of you may need to go. And I think you two gentlemen want to talk to Diane, so you maybe want to meet with them and we'll just keep discussing anything. And you
I think we
can
need a flyer deadline.
Well, that was gonna be my other question is how are we promoting this? I mean, obviously, we want to get buy-in from all the local businesses, but it's not just gonna be a bunch of business people sitting around. We want to get community here.
Yes.
What are we going to be doing to promote this to the community? And
We
that
do need,
costs a lot of
we
money.
do need flyers.
That does cost money.
Pat, do you know if the school system let a chamber fly?
I don't know for sure. I know they do for like,
A lot of stuff.
I can know that.
But the city never asked. I know they do, and you just, each child would, well, when they get, so,
They're not gonna wanna do it the first 2 weeks of school though, I can tell
we
you.
see they go back in August.
You have your electronic signs.
They go back August 23rd.
Yes.
August
Yeah.
23rd.
I bet my grandkids don't know that. I bet their parents. don't.
Well, when we were doing the, what was the name of that thing we did?
Fun hunt.
The fun hunt.
We sent
We
something.
sent stuff to the school.
Yeah,
The pain in the,
we need flyers.
the pain in the butt thing that you have to do with the schools though, is if you're gonna send something home in the schools, it has to be like for each teacher, if Susie has 24 kids in her class, you have to make a bundle of 24.
Yeah.
And put Susie's name on it, and then Brenda has a class that has 22, and you have to do 22 of the flyers and put Brenda's name on it. Do we want to do that?
I don't want to do that.
Well, where do
Just
we get
saying.
that information from? I mean, I don't mind doing that but where do we get the information for all those?
You see,
You have to get through the.
Now, I know the apartments, all she do is tell me how many she get. I just give her the pound, she do it.
That's
Yeah.
what we did with the fun hunt. I never did all the.
But if you-
Individual.
That's
Separate.
the school, you have to separate them. And then you have to ask yourself, do you want to do just the elementary school or do you want to do all three schools? And some parents are gonna get 6 of the flyers. So you've made,
Yell about it.
you get many and whatever it costs you to print them. So I'm just,
Okay, so
I'm not sure I'm
we
gonna
need a good flyer
be
made
negative.
online.
I'm just saying,
that
tell
we have
them, you know,
every
what
business to
prepared
post
about
it.
Yeah.
We get, I need to talk to Terry Harrisy to get an article in the paper.
Join, but
Um,
email it to me.
That's fine.
we all promote it on social media, but we got, I think the posters in town
Okay.
might be one of the best things.
Yeah, posters in town for sure. Absolutely.
Can we
But
have this?
yeah, I guess like that's all, we know how to promote an event. We've done the, you know, the cleanup. and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I think it's more organizing this event.
I think there needs to be a deadline for the flyer, because that will force all the
That's
entities
what we'll
involved to
recognize.
decide what they're expecting. That's what they'll say in the flyer. And then we do a meet up and actually have.
I get, no, I mean, like,
But it's gonna have to be at least one meeting,
Oh my gosh.
just before the flyer.
Well, I mean, the flyer. You mean what flyer? The flyer telling people about
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Have that done.
We don't know what they are all the attractions.
Yeah.
So no, so.
Okay.
That's something that
Yeah.
Do you think
the
we
town
can
can
have
figure out.
a work meeting tonight here?
Great. We,
For anybody who is interested, a work meeting
it
on
does right now, yes.
this event and whatever we need to,
Yeah.
if we need to talk to you about the directory.
I can come, but I gotta bring my granddaughter.
She's with that playroom over there.
Stick her over there.
What are you doing to me?
On one of these things, I put July, but I meant June. Should we also schedule June 28th as just a work meeting on this? So it's 2 weeks from tonight.
The 28th? Is that spot? Here. Have you put it in the calendar?
How do we, now we have email addresses of all the businesses, everybody with a business license. Is that true?
I have the, let me look, because it
How
would
do
be
we
right
get
here.
addresses of all organizations and churches?
Right, I sent you an email, you were gonna give that to me. Okay.
You have that, Linda?
The churches I have on.
You have churches.
Already.
Okay. Email?
Yeah, because most of them don't want paper.
Okay. Is there any compilation of organizations? Like Hurricanes and
Are you talking, what kind of businesses?
organizations like Hurricanes and,
Organization.
yeah, civic organizations. We might just have to, everybody throw out everything they know that exists in some contact person.
I can see if,
They don't have to register for anything, I don't think.
Yeah, I can see what Molly has.
Yeah. Or something. I mean, there's some lodge that meets in your building, right?
Yeah, there's the Masons that meet there,
in the we have a local
There's an American
sorority that might have the connections to all of them. I can check with Ms. Wood and see if she got the connections to all of the
Okay.
sororities.
Okay. There's an American Legion, there's Masons.
Linda, can we maybe check with Carlos and see, his list for National Night Out?
That's a good idea.
Thinking back another.
This usually was like everybody there for that.
Yeah, and we all get something in the mail, yeah.
In the sheriff's Facebook or Surry County Facebook. I'm not even sure what they are. One's is happening in Surrey. I've seen Rose's stuff on it. But then the sheriff puts stuff, sometimes just community announcements.
Yeah, he's pretty active on social media.
It's an election year.
Oh, yeah, there's there's Republicans and Democrats and.
And you might want to
There's
invite them to the,
candidates.
to campaign.
Right? Yeah.
No?
Just remember, if you invite one, you have to invite them all.
Everybody, yeah.
We can't play politics.
I gotta get
They
in
can
touch with
pay
them,
for,
but if
they
you,
can all pay for blue space. Yeah.
if you invite I think there's a Republican club and a Democratic club, right? I'm not close.
Yes,
And
Committee.
so,
committee.
let them know, just as part of their thing, and if they want to invite anybody, they can.
But you gotta invite both of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would invite both of them.
You gotta invite.
Okay, who is the contact for the people and who's keeping track of everybody who's signing up? Like, I don't, people can't just like come and pop up a tent. They gotta sign up, right?
Right, and I think, I mean, can we get something on the website with a form for them to fill out if they're gonna
Yeah.
participate?
I can make a Google form too.
I can have it done in 2 days.
And you've got 2 weeks, so relax.
I might even be able to get it out sooner than that. It just kind of depends, so. I don't really have a whole lot going on tomorrow, but that can change very quickly, so.
Okay, and so.
So, well, then, does that mean, is Eric the contact? Like, who's gonna do this? Who's gonna be the one that says, I got your thing, I'm your contact,
Who's gonna map out where each person sets up?
right? So.
What's his name is? Yes, oh. He volunteered.
Shouldn't these questions be part of the committee meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, we can move on. You guys, some of you need to go home,
Just
but are we?
asking.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll meet anybody who
Good question.
is able to come for a meeting on planning. Celebrate Surrey 2 weeks from tonight here at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you all so much for coming,
I
especially our new people.
Thank you.
do actually have something important to put out for all the businesses here. If you are unaware of the laws that have been passed with cell phones and business numbers, if your business is not registered by July 5th, you'll be blocked or you will go to a spam box.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
So, okay, so if you have a business line, right, and you haven't registered that business line with your cell phone carrier or with somebody else, right? If it's your personal line, you don't need to do this because it's already technically registered under your name. So all these things that you get like scam likelies and stuff like that, they will just stop going through altogether. So if you have a phone that has those kinds of issues and stuff like that, you need to register it with your EIN through your cell phone carrier or whoever your phone provider is before July 5th.
Well, once you
Yeah,
have your
that
phone,
that
that's
applies
your
to you,
business.
understand?
It shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Shouldn't be a problem.
So if Verizon has your phone and it's listed as a business, is that?
If it's listed with a business and if they have your EIN, you're fine. It's only people that come in, so like, you see them all the time, you get all these random text messages and stuff from like, who knows who this business even is.
Comes out as potential spam.
Right, something that's potential spam and they know it's potential spam and it's a business line, so they can send out all these mass text messages for your people. Those kinds of phone lines are gonna be blocked.
Yay. Good. That's good news for us, right?
That is good news for you, unless you have a registered.
Someone who gets all those calls all day long,
Yeah,
it's a good thing.
Oh, they haven't paid yet?
Megan.
oh, I get them all the time too. It's
I
ridiculous.
just got 3 of
Because I
them.
tried to find it earlier this year.
Is there anything else that we needed to bring up
Okay,
tonight?
hold on to it.
Yeah.
But, okay, thank you all for coming.
Thanks,
See you
Carol.
in a couple of weeks.
Well,
Right,
Okay.
2 weeks.
Um,
And Jason, are you-
I called him one day. I think it was the same day. I even know before and after, because I'm like, we work for the marketing. Yeah, we're so sorry. I never fell through.